Greetings from the black holes of South Dakota, United States of advertising. Stan Gibelisco here down in the Nerd Cave, where it's relatively cool on a pretty hot day. It's close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit out there. I was listening this noon on National Public Radio to the TED Radio Hour, and they were talking about cosmology, which is one of my favorite subjects in the prevailing wisdom in the early 20th century, which held that the universe was a static thing, that it wasn't changing in size. Various theories had come up, Albert Einstein in particular proposing his finite but unbounded four-dimensional sphere with a three-dimensional surface type of universe. But all of the astronomers at that time thought that it was static, and meaning not changing in size, and that was the prevailing wisdom, according to the people on the TED Radio Hour. Well, then in 1929, Edwin Hubble noticed that it appeared that the universe was expanding because of the red shift, and it seemed to be that meant the universe must have exploded from some sort of a fireball, which gave rise to the Big Bang theory. And George Gamow was a proponent of that theory, and it prevails to this day, the prevailing wisdom, as it were. Well, they thought that because of gravity, the universe must be slowing down as it expanded. But later, not too long ago, in fact, some experimenters came up with some data that they could hardly believe, even when it was presented right in their face from their own instruments, and others eventually verified that it appears that the rate of expansion of the universe is increasing. That is to say, as the universe grows, it grows faster and faster and faster, which is contrary to the notion that gravity would tend to try to hold it back. You throw a ball up into the air, it slows down, and then eventually falls back. There were oscillating universe theories that had been proposed on that basis, that the universe might blow up to a certain size, collapse, explode again, blow up, collapse over and over. Well, now that appears to be not very likely if the universe is expanding faster and faster. That's the prevailing wisdom now. So the prevailing wisdom back in the early 1900s was proven wrong when they found out that the universe was expanding. And the prevailing wisdom that the universe must be expanding at a slower and slower rate was proven wrong just recently. And now the prevailing wisdom appears to be that it's expanding faster and faster. Seems like, and then they went on to marvel at how we, these little specks on this little speck of dust, can know all of these things. I have a question. How do we know all these things? If our prevailing wisdom has been wrong so many times, as it was when Einstein demonstrated that Newtonian physics, that prevailing wisdom, was wrong. Suppose that we're still wrong. Well, it doesn't seem that way. It never does to those who feel that they are privy to the prevailing wisdom. Now, I don't have the sheepskin on my wall that would allow me to claim that I'm qualified to make all of these statements. The only thing that makes me claim that I'm qualified is that it doesn't take a rocket scientist, it doesn't take a PhD cosmologist to figure out that if we've been wrong a number of times before, we could very well be wrong again. And so the prevailing wisdom might in fact be more like prevailing ignorance. What do you think? I'm going to leave comments open here, so if you want to attack me, because the only sheepskin I have on my wall is that one right back there, life membership in the American Radio Relay League of Radio Hams, and a Bachelor of Mathematics degree from the University of Minnesota, 1976. Come at me if you want, but think about it. Suppose we're still wrong. Stan Gibilisco signing off from the cave in the black holes of the United States of America, United States of Advertising. So long.